Hi, I'm Brandon. I love Hallmark. Love you, Harry movies.
I'm Brian. I like Hallmark. Love you, Harry movies.
I'm Dan. I despise Hallmark. Love you, Harry movies, and this is the
Deck the Hallmark Podcast.
Deck the Hallmark. It's this podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
What happened just then? Did you
Oh,
pull a
man.
can out of your pocket?
He had it heated up in the insulator over there.
Got a can in your pocket? Or?
What in the world?
Nice and
That's
cool, right?
What was that?
So what just happened was I had to, when you come into this studio.
All right, you're gonna paint a picture that is wholly inaccurate.
I'll try to be
I just
right
wanna
down the
very
middle.
clear.
If
Okay.
you bring an unopened drink to this table where we record,
This
you're
hallowed
putting,
ground.
You're putting your life in Dan's hands, basically.
Wow.
Your thirst, your livelihood.
There's an ongoing bit that started with Panda and myself
Rest in peace.
all the way back
Obviously.
in 2000, really before the podcast, where if we sat down and one of us had an ice cold beverage they're excited about drinking, the other one would grab the drink and try to drink it all right in front of their face.
Phenomenal bit.
It's a great bit.
It's a great bit.
It brings joy
Love it.
to all that witness it.
Everybody.
Have we tried it in Hall's Chop House with a full chocolate martini? Maybe.
No place is sacred.
It's a $20 chocolate martini. Bit is more important.
Goodbye. Almost put the whole thing
Dude,
down too.
if it wasn't for you laughing, I was completely
You
in.
almost had the whole
I almost did it. And then I heard you lose it.
Oh, I forgot about it.
Oh, man.
So this is I've been burned on this, and so when I came in here, I put my drink in my pocket, knowing I'm going to get to this in a few minutes. A few minutes have passed.
So
Now's
now
the
it's been
time.
an hour.
Yeah. It's
Almost
been a
an
while.
hour,
This
okay.
is the second one we recorded.
So yeah, this
We had a business
back. Yeah, we had a big important meeting. So I pulled it out of my pocket, opened it up. I think the coast is
Speaking
clear.
of the business meeting, and I don't want to.
On air?
now,
We're
school
doing
should
this?
we adjourn?
All right.
But there
School
has been.
should be adjourned.
and
What
I-
sentence did you just say?
Should we adjourn?
I want to apologize to Rick Dilby.
No, it's
That's
about
a first.
effing time. You know what I mean? About fishing time.
Yeah, fish. It
about
is
fishing.
I
fishing
cast the
time.
line. You know what
So
I mean?
we
You
realized
need any crickets?
We
If you
realized
put the hook right in the butt of that
Yeah,
cricket, that's when the bait's
absolutely.
good. The fish like that cricket butt.
so we realized that we didn't make
I brought
your
a cricket with me. I don't know if you heard it.
contractually obligated three
He says cricket.
three mentions in January. We
Oh,
had-
yeah, you didn't. Yeah, and that's a
And-
minimum. Usually
Oh,
I get 10 to
no.
12 mentions.
I know.
You didn't even get 3
gotta
in
pay him
January,
off
and
for
the
that?
deckies were happening.
Yeah. So
So
what?
you're missing the boat
Are we going
for the
fishing?
fishing,
fishing
again.
boat,
Yeah,
yeah.
try to
Yeah,
solve
it's about
fishing
fishing time.
metaphors
Stand on
today.
the
So
dock like
really
a-
quickly, and I don't want to. Again, we have stuff that we have to do. We got the wish swap, all that good stuff. But really quickly, let us know what happened in January at Fitzy's and kind of what we can expect. Do you guys do anything big
We're
for
doing
Valentine's Day
fishing
next
charters.
weekend?
That's why I'm pushing it.
Okay,
That's
but-
true. We'd have a new drink that's fishing based. It's a very good drink.
Fishing based.
It's like got a bunch of fishing puns in it.
Okay.
You one
But there's
sip of
not
this
actual
drink and you'll be
lure
hooked.
you
No,
right
there's
in.
no
There's not actual
lures in there.
fish
No,
in
there's
there,
no
though, right?
fish in there. There are some goldfish garnishes. The drink's called the Big Hooker. It's. Are you okay, Brent?
Yeah, fine.
Just
Okay.
got in my throat.
Yeah. So we did all that. You didn't bring me on to talk about the Big Hooker at all. Not a single time, which is crazy.
In my
it's been
defense-
we have Fitzy takes you out on his boat to go
Yeah.
fishing.
So
Yes.
generous.
It's a big deal.
In my defense,
Yeah.
you texted me 4 times in January and said, "Let me talk about the Big Hooker," with no other context.
But you know.
so you can see why. No, I
What do
didn't
you-
know.
come on.
You can
Come
expect. You
on.
can understand why I would be hesitant to bring you
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Left them hanging.
I mean, but you should know better by this point.
Okay, what are you guys doing for Valentine's Day? Valentine's Day next
Well, you
weekend. I
could
know
take
Fitzy's
a
is
lovely
always.
seaside cruise. You could take your loved one out on.
Are
you go-
people signing up for this?
They are not, but
Okay,
we've already
that's the
decided to do it
Yeah,
for,
you bought the
for a
boat.
quarter, and it's a lot.
This is what I
of
think
wasted
happened.
cricket butts. Is
This
all
is what
I'm
I.
saying.
This is what I think happened. Rigged. You and Fitzy wanted to buy a boat. And you said if we buy a boat and we work it into the business, then we can write. It's a write-off.
Yeah, and I can neither confirm nor deny
Okay.
that. But we did buy a boat. It's called On Her Majesty's Secret Service, and we were hoping to take fishing expeditions for money. It's not gone well so far.
Right.
And I would just be straight honest with you. But I think we can turn it around. We got February, March left. Let's turn it around. And I gotta be honest, me not being on Take the Hallmark didn't help.
Yeah.
Didn't help.
Yeah,
The big
that's
hooker
fair.
drink. You can do all these things.
So what you're saying is that people
Yes.
can sign up for a Valentine's
fishing
Day
expedition. That's
fishing
right.
expedition.
We'll go on. It's very, very romantic.
Yeah. You guys bring any is there any
Yeah,
music
there's
or
a
anything?
brand new champagne brand we're going to bring out to let them try.
What you got a brand new
Yeah,
champagne?
we got a brand new
What is
champagne.
it?
My pants.
Now, did you really do that, or was it just a joke?
No, it was a bit. That's a bit. I did the rest of it though. We're in Hawk. We're in big Hawk here. We gotta get out of Hawk as quick as we can. Get
Now,
the
is
Hawk
there
out of Dodge.
Is there like like if no one signs
If
up
no one
for it,
signs
though,
up,
then
we-
it's tough to
Fitzy's-
claim on the taxes.
We did put Fitzy's down as collateral, so we're gonna need some fishing. We're gonna need some people to book this fishing expedition.
How's the boat,
It's
though?
Lake Lure, and the boat's okay. It's not a great boat, but it's a decent boat.
All right. Well, let us know.
That's all right.
You
Come
keep
on
us
down to
posted.
Fitzy's and go fishing.
Good to hear from you, buddy.
Yeah, you too. Good to hear from you too, Brian. Thanks so much.
We're talking the wish swap today. The wish
Thanks, Rick.
swap. Very exciting. We love a wish swap.
Where were you that whole time, Brian?
I was imagining being out on the water. I
Yeah.
mean, he's
If
painting
I
a
didn't know
beautiful
any better,
picture.
Brian, I think you were busy doing a voice, and that's why you couldn't
Someone
chime
after,
in.
Doesn't
after
sound
Rig
like
talked about
me.
cricket, someone just said cricket in
Yeah.
a high pitched voice, and I don't know who
Yeah.
that was.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
I
either.
didn't hear any
That's
of
right.
that.
Glad we did what we did, though.
Talking about me?
No. Is that cockroach?
It's cockroach.
Mm,
Happy Valentine's Day, guys. Next
happy,
week.
Happy
obviously.
Valentine's
you're on
Day.
I want to tell you
next
about my
week.
love. Can I tell you about my true love?
Is it crumbs?
No.
Is it humidity?
No.
Is it
What
small
is it?
apartment?
Who is it?
No.
The big city?
It's
Is it-
Krispy Kreme in my belly. Krispy Kreme in my belly.
Oh.
Krispy Kreme in my belly. Have ourselves a really good time. Sing it with me. Krispy Kreme in my belly. Yeah.
Krispy Kreme in my belly.
Woohoo.
Krispy Kreme in my belly.
Have
Have
ourselves a good time.
Woo.
Thanks, guys. And can I just say this really quickly, Wrigley?
Yeah, buddy, cockroach. How's it going, cock? You doing all right?
It's going real good, bud. Thanks for asking. Can I ask you real quick, how much for that fishing expedition? Finish, if you will.
I'm,
question
I'm
there.
so glad that you asked. For you and a special someone.
Yes.
For you and a special
Maybe
someone.
me and a little Krispy Kreme donut.
Okay, you and a donut. We could do that for $1,500.
Okay, I'll be in touch.
Okay.
God bless.
All right. Thank you, cockroach.
Well, love that guy. It's good. Hey, let's do wish swap, shall we? Wish swap. The movie
Wish swap.
Wish swap.
This is silent
Invest at
H.
Charles Schwab.
February
Schwab,
8th.
wish Schwab.
February 8th, 2025 is when it premiered at Hallmark Channel. Of course, you
close
can
to
watch
Big
it.
Valentine's Day.
I know. You can
Yeah.
watch it on Philo, philo.tv/DTH. And if you're listening to this and you want to see us talk about the movie, come on over. Philo.tv/DTH. Every episode of DTH available in its entirety.
We don't cut it off anymore.
We don't
Not-
cut it off
wow.
anymore.
Everyone?
Everyone.
Like, not back catalog, too.
No, I mean,
Okay,
a
all
lot
right.
of it.
Yeah.
I mean, for the last few years at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on over,
That's a lot of
everybody.
stuff.
That's good. Yeah, it is. We
The
don't have
wish-
videos of probably the first 100 or two. Right?
Yeah. The Wish Swap, February 8th, 2025, Hallmark Channel, and it went a little something like this. The movie kicks off with knockoff Morgan Freeman narrating about birthday wishes. Birthday.
There was a time when my friend and I wanted to wish
Yeah?
upon a star.
Right. Cut to Casey, who shows up at the field and plate.
Cake came,
Morgan, we don't have time.
son of a bee.
Cut to Casey, who shows up at the
There's
field.
only one cake.
We don't have time. Morgan. Cut to Casey, who shows up at the field and
What
play.
if these wishes
Hey, Morg.
were to swap?
Hey, Morg.
He doesn't like people.
Yes.
Love you, bud. We can't though. I'm up against it.
I don't think he's stopping.
Cut to Casey, who shows.
Cut to Casey.
Cut to Casey, who shows up at the field and play. Do you want to do it?
No. I think he left. He walked out.
Okay, sorry.
He's had enough.
Cut to Casey, who shows up at the field and plate for her birthday. As she's waiting for her friends to show up, another family arrives for a different birthday celebration, led by birthday boy himself, Henry, even though the Hallmark Channel website calls him Harry. Their tables are side by side, and they end up talking a bit. But then it's cake time, and Henry's family realizes in this moment that they did not get Henry a cake. Casey overhears this and feels sorry for him, fair and suggests that they blow out her candles together since they're birthday twins. After they blow out the candles, Henry gets a call from an unknown number and he takes it. He assumes it's a spam call. He tells Casey, someone from some TV show called Dance Your Heart Out just called me. Whatever that is. Casey is shocked. Dance Your Heart Out? I've always wanted to be on Dance Your Heart. I've always wanted to dance my heart out. She's like, I don't, okay. And she's like, can you please take me to be your partner on the show? And he's like, I'm not interested in doing this, but says, listen, you should take my spot. And she says, I can't do that. That's not allowed. I don't know how she knows that, but anyway, she keeps begging, please let me do this with you. He's not interested in it. And so now she's disappointed and she goes to leave. And that's tough, but she gets a call from somebody and is like, hey, you got to come down to here. I got some news for you. And guess what? She inherited a farm. So she starts to suspect something that I think
Maybe my wish was his wish.
So she starts to suspect, I think as all of us would suspect
That's
after
right, yes.
one day.
It was a wish swap.
There was a wish swap.
Wish swap. Talking about a
Wish swap. Take your wish, then you put it over there, then you grab that wish, and it becomes your wish. It's a wish swap. So she starts to suspect that it's a wish swap situation because she's inheriting a farm, which is something that Henry seems like he would be into after meeting him. Yeah. So she goes to talk to him about it, and he admits, yeah, I wished for a farm, big whoop. Wish swaps aren't real. And she's like, well, let's try something real quick. I got one more piece of cake. Let's blow candles out. Maybe it's a reverse wish swap situation. It does not work. So she says, let's make a deal. You can work my farm for money and potentially one day buy your own farm in exchange for letting me join you on Dance Your Heart Out. Does not seem like a fair trade. From there, things follow a format that you may be familiar with if you watch the network. They start hanging out. And she's doing farm work. He's learning to dance. Fish are so out of water, which, Rick, when you have gone fishing on your boat, do the fish bite?
Oh, they bite all right.
Yeah?
When you got that cricket butt out there, they can't avoid it.
What lake do you go to?
Oh, all of them. Hartwell is a good one around here.
Joe Cass?
Yeah, Joe Cass for sure, Joe Cass. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, you never know where I may end up. You might see me out there. If you're on
Your
a
lady-
lake boy,
your-
say what up.
Yeah. Your Lady Majesty of
On
the-
Her Majesty's Secret Service. Yeah, I can't believe it wasn't taken. Still waiting on that permit to come through.
So, fish out of water is where I was. Yeah. Thanks, Rick.
That's why you brought me in.
All right, you go, buddy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool, it's good stuff.
They do their first dance
Those crickets. Those crickets are great. Crickets. Those crickets. There it is. There it is.
Hello, you rang?
Nope.
Okay, God bless. Krispy Kreme in my belly.
It's gonna be a long. I don't think we're gonna make that time.
It just doesn't get paid enough. For
We're
this.
not making the time. I don't think.
I don't think. Oh, you don't think so?
yeah.
You called a crazy time
I
and then
know.
proceeded to do
I know.
bring Rick in and Cockroach.
Sorry.
You're the one that opened the door for all of it. Even Morgan Freeman, you opened the door for.
So, I would always, by the way,
Yeah.
Morgan. Anyway, back to the thing
I
we're
would
doing
not.
here. So they do the first dance on the show, and it actually goes well. They move on to the next round, and also people think they're funny, so they get invited to perform at a stand-up club. There's a document on her computer about for birthday wishes.
Yeah.
She keeps a document on it, and she's like, whatever you do, don't look at my document.
Don't
I'll
look
show
at
it
that
to you
birthday
one day.
list.
He opens it, and he finds out her 3 wishes are 1, the dance, 2, the comedy, and 3, the fall in love. Only one of those has been unchecked. When she opens her laptop, he sees that dummy didn't close the document, so she knows that somebody opened it. Who else would do it but the person that I said don't open the document? So she goes to give him a piece of her mind, and he's like, oh no, I'm so sorry. So he does the thing that we would all do in this moment, and after knowing somebody for a few days says, but I love you! And that works. You're forgiven because you said I love you. No problem here. They compete in the dance finals and they win, and the movie ends with them dancing in the bed of a pickup truck, and they kiss and dance some more. And that, my friends, was
The Wish Swap.
We did it.
We did do it. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll get to this movie. I think we're gonna break it down pretty good. Here on
Deck
Deck
the
the
Hallmark.
Wow, we all did 3 separates.
Welcome back.
Welcome back,
to Deck the
everybody.
Hallmark.
We're talking The Wish Swap today, the movie that aired the week before Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Let's break it down. Let's share our thoughts on The Wish Swap. We're going to start with a hot take. So we're going to share exactly how we felt about this movie, and we're not going to hold back. And I'm going to start with you, Brian. Brian, what'd you think? Wish Swap.
Actually, I'm feeling confused right now because in my notes I wrote, like the setup, overall pretty good for me. But listening to you talk about it, I just kept thinking in my head, like, yeah, that was rough. Yeah, that was rough. That's not so great.
Here we go.
So I don't know.
Look
now
at you.
I'm like coming around a little bit. Maybe it wasn't as I had a decent time. Like it was fine for me. I like the setup a lot. I like the idea a lot. A lot of familiar names and faces associated with this.
Yeah.
So, and his Henry is the name we settled on. Was that his
Henry.
Henry's family was awesome. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted
a bunch of regulars.
yes,
bunch of
very
regs.
cool. Like, let's get more of just hanging out with his family. But yeah, all the silly stuff you mentioned there, Bran, was pretty bad and not super fun. The dancing was a little different. Being on a farm a lot was a little different. But just so many questions.
You're
about,
describing a movie that you hated. You're not describing a movie
I guess
that
I
you
didn't
had a
like
good
it as
time
much
with.
as I
Yeah.
originally thought that I did.
There it is.
It was not great. So many questions about the farm and just how does that thing run and what are they
It's a wish you wouldn't get it.
Yeah, I guess maybe if you get a farm as a wish, it does nothing with running the farm matters and making money and like what do they sell? It doesn't matter. It was a wish. How is she paying for a full staff? It doesn't matter. It was a wish. So I don't know. My big thing coming away was like, what a cool party trick. If this is a thing you can do, like can recreate, like you can blow on a candle and your wishes are swapped. That's a fun party trick. If you know how to do that, nobody else does. If it happens one time, which it kind of seems like that's what happened here, it's never going to happen again. That's a bummer because this would have been pretty cool if you could do this more and trick people into like, hey, make a wish. I got your wish.
Got him.
But you can't do that. So I don't know. I guess it's just okay. And I got a bunch of questions about how this farm works.
This movie had a lofty title, a lofty premise, and it was disappointing to me as somebody who was really excited about Wish Swap. I during the preview show, the general idea of it
Didn't you cream this
reminded.
bad boy?
I think I did cream it.
Yeah.
The general idea of this movie reminded me of Dream Central, which we got a ton of in that movie,
My
and
dreams of you.
felt like we got
I'm calling it Dream Central.
a general
Central, Inc.
idea of what Dream Central is,
call this Wish
how it
Central.
operates. In this movie,
Pretty good idea.
Yeah, Brian went 4 and a cream on this
four and a
bad
cream.
boy.
This movie spends so
No, I
little
did.
time on Wish Swap
Yeah, you're right.
that I was left just having so many questions in my mind about Wish Swap and this narrator over top. And, you know, I like this movie, when you think through the logistics of Wish Swap and her getting a farm from an aunt who died. Did Wish Swap kill someone? I don't know. And so this movie set up something that I was so excited by, and they do the Wish Swap and then do nothing.
right.
They don't go back to Wish Swap. And I hate to break it to you, but Wish Swap is the draw
There it
of
is.
this movie.
Yes.
It's called The Wish Swap. And so does this movie technically wish swap? Yes, it technically wish swaps. But they don't even bother trying to answer any questions that literally anybody watching this movie would have about the wish swap of it all. And instead they overestimated the viewers potentially liking this couple. I don't care about this couple. I care about Wish Swap. I care about the name of the movie and the wish swap of it all. And then unfortunately they wish swap and they say, luckily we got this couple that everybody's going to care about. No, we don't. We don't care about them. We care about Wish Swap. We care about Wish Swap. And we didn't get Wish Swap. That's a bummer.
If you're drinking every time somebody says Wish Swap, you are dead.
That's the name of the movie.
To Brand's point, it would be like a movie being called like Love at the All Clown Carnival, and then there's a carnival.
When's that come out?
There's a carnival, and it's all clowns. Clowns are taking your tickets. Clowns are doing everything, and then two people meet there, and then we don't hear about the All Clown Carnival the rest of the way. Can you imagine?
It's just the way for them to meet.
That's right. Yeah. Love at the ghost seance, and then there's a ghost seance at the beginning of the movie that literally you can't call a movie Wish Swap. Like of all the normally when I think of Wish Swap, I think of body swap comedies like Freaky Friday or The Change Up or like Tom Hanks and Big. All of those ideas. The swap is when the zaniness starts. This movie opens with, and it is my feels, but I'll tell you now, the opening sequence of this movie may be my favorite thing on Hallmark all year.
Yeah.
It immediately grabs your attention and you're like, oh my goodness, we are in for a ride. And then they're like, forget the ride. We've got the set of the show ride, and Tough, I guess,
the Tough Tones
still lives there. So let's make him the lead. Emily Tennant, whom I've loved in everything she's in, including Holiday Hotline, so wasted in this movie. They add so many plots. There's a B love storyline with the guy's niece. There's Pascal Hutton in 4 scenes as a dance instructor. Crystal Lowe shows up for 4 or 5 scenes. There's a dance off. There's a farm with questions. You know what there's not any of? Any magic after the wishes swap. None. Zero. It's just inexcusable. I just don't know what they expected from us when you pitch the movie that you pitched and you give us the opening scene that you give us. You can't just make a regular Hallmark movie after that. And because they did, it felt a lot worse. Now, is this still better than at least 2 of the January movies? Yes. But make no mistake, it's real bad. It's real bad because it starts off really strong.
I'm more disappointed at it.
And then it just falls flat on its face. So
would you say that? You're more disappointed? Said I'm disappointed in this one. Not so much that
expectations versus reality. This is a bigger drop than anything in the January slate. Yes, but it's not as bad.
Oh, it's Wish Swap.
Wish drop.
So that's the thing.
And then they do, that's right. You got it. Nicely done. Put that on the box.
It's like the opposite of creams for me. If you don't hit expectations, almost -2.
Yeah, Brian creamed this one. You creamed Unexpected Valentine.
Great.
In retrospect, really wise move on your part.
About that. That's nice.
Right. Yeah.
Let's get to all the feels. Dan, you already went, so I'm just...
The opening scene, though, narration, shot of different shoes dancing or farming, and you're like, there's going to be this crossover, and it is very beautiful. And from that point forward, the movie goes straight downhill.
And they never even go to the clown carnival. And I think that's part of it.
All clown carnival.
All clown.
So everybody at the carnival is a clown.
Yeah.
The people, everybody. If you buy
what's
popcorn.
Their story?
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: can you go? If you go, do you have to wear a clown?
No, I think just if you're if you're buying a
employees.
ticket, you're there to see the all clown carnival.
Right. You want to see it.
Terrifying, regardless.
Absolutely.
I don't think
But
so.
imagine not just to meet cute being.
Who
at the
would I
all
trust
clown.
more than the clowns?
That's true. Yeah.
Brian, any feels?
That opening sequence was great. And it did set the bar super high for that movie. My feels was Crystal Lowe's BFF energy in this movie. She was great in this movie. And knowing, I don't know where I heard this. It might have been Girls Gone Hallmark, where because she directs as well. She directs the movie. And she said in an interview somewhere, she's like, I love when I'm just an actor in a movie and I see all the chaos going around and I just don't have to deal with it.
This is like, I feel like I'm someone that either wants to make all the decisions or none. I'm very bad in between those two. So I feel that energy for sure.
And
like,
so her knowing that and thinking about what a good time she probably had being that character and on that set, that was a good feels for me.
While we're talking about established Hallmark actors that are in this movie, shout out Pascal, who's in this movie. Her character, fantastic. Her jumpsuits, primo. And so, weirdly enough, those two characters
Characters.
Characters are the thing that worked, and that's why I did character works. Those are the two characters.
Worked for me.
They really worked, and everything else kind of fell out. So, but anytime those two were on screen, I was like, oh yes, we're having fun. We're doing things. And then they remind you we're no longer wish swapping. It's just that's happened. The thing that you came for, it happened. We got rid of all the clowns, and now it's normal carnival.
Normal carnival.
I know.
I know, right?
But all the clowns were sick. We had to fill in with regular people. Let's take a break.
And then we're not going to talk about it.
We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to address it.
Freaks.
We're not going to address it. Let's take a break. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get to the Wait What the Hallmark here on
Deck the Hallmark.
Nice.
That's really good, dude. Made up for the first, whatever that first thing was.
What's up, everybody?
What's
How
up?
you doing? Krispy Kreme in my belly. What was that song?
Krispy Kreme in my belly. Is that it?
I don't know.
I'm missing
Lines?
something. But you're going to eventually, not you, obviously. You would never, but not cricket either. Cockroach.
Croc.
A lot of the people we have on the show eventually get around to having a real good time. Like somewhere, a lot of them do end up. If that's in there somewhere, it circles.
I do want to get ahead of this.
Yeah.
Can I get ahead of this?
I would love for you to get ahead of this
We're
cockroach.
having a really good time.
I know, but
So I
do you listen to
what?
the show, Cockroach?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well,
Not
what
a
you
fan,
would you would
to be
wow.
honest with you.
Wow.
Well,
What
I
is
just
it?
think there's too many bits. I come here to
That's
listen
fair.
to you guys talk about the Hallmark movies,
That's
which
right.
I love, by the
you
way.
do?
Yeah.
And I think your general breakdown of the movies is fantastic, but then you do all these weird things.
Yeah.
It
And I
does
don't
get
want
out of
that.
hand.
Man.
I just
Okay.
want in your face, cutthroat,
Hallmark.
Hallmark good times.
Good times. Okay. So
But I am having a good time.
You are.
Great.
Okay.
what you would find is a lot of the people that we end up
Right.
having on the line on this program,
On the line,
Cockroach,
if you will.
if you will, is that eventually if they sing a song, they say something to the effect of they're having a real good time.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I just felt like that was implied.
Okay, but you,
I mean, if you got
you
Krispy
didn't
Kreme
feel
in
that
your
it was
belly.
implied. You said it out loud. You
Well,
did not imply
you
it. You
questioned.
explicitly.
I thought it was implied, and then you questioned it.
I didn't question it. I just said a lot of the people that call in on the show tend to say that line.
It's interesting.
Okay.
Okay, but you don't listen, so it's not your problem.
I don't listen anymore. I'm familiar with it.
Okay, you did used to listen when we
I
just
used to
talked
listen a lot.
Hallmark, and then
Unsubscribe?
the first season
I
when we did
unsubscribed.
more
Canceled
Hallmark.
my Supercast
Yeah,
subscription.
cancel your
Oh, no.
Supercast, of course.
Just kept Philo though, and Philo
obviously,
rules.
yeah.
Yeah, Philo does rule because you can just get the hard hitting
There's so
cutthroat.
much good stuff.
How many podcasts
What's that?
do you listen to that are Hallmark related that are cutthroat? Because
16.
you said cutthroat.
I listened to 16 of them.
There's 16.
Yeah.
Cutthroat.
Which
There's Lilo and Mitch.
Lilo and Mitch? That's a great podcast.
Sounds like you're having a
I
good
didn't know
time.
they did Hallmark,
There's
but
Howard and Hughes.
Howard and Hughes. All right, that's just a name that you split up into two.
Yeah,
names.
he's dead, so that's
Yeah,
tough.
that's tough.
Just back
R.I.P.,
episodes.
Sorry,
obviously.
my bad.
And Hallmark
I
Cafe.
can't remember them all,
obviously.
okay? I
Yeah.
don't have my RSS feed up.
Okay, got it. Cool. Thank you, Cockroach. I think we've had about enough of you.
I'm having a good time, though. Thanks
you.
for asking.
Yep.
God bless.
Man, I got to be honest. I feel like during Christmas we do so little in the range of taking callers, and then all of a sudden February hits and it's like
Make it
lines
up
are
for
open.
it, yeah.
Rig, Cockroach, and Morgan Freeman in one episode, and Cricket, by the way, just seemed like a lot.
Yeah.
Seemed like a lot. Were we doing Wait What? Is that what we were doing?
Yeah, let's get
Brandon?
to the Wait What's.
I
We're
love
talking about this is the cutthroat stuff. Wait What's. Where we
Yeah,
talk
listen
about
up, Cockroach.
what
Yeah.
in this movie made us go. Wait, what? I'll start with you, Brian.
Yeah, help coupons right in the trash. I'm not.
Listen,
Are you kidding me right now? That's a gift that like you've on the way to the party, you're like, oh shoot.
that's an
forgot.
under 10-year-old gift. I wrote
Yeah.
down, isn't that coupon book just called Being a Good Friend? You
Yeah.
gave your BFF a coupon book.
Yeah.
I'll help you out, but only if
Yeah,
you have your
can
coupon.
you imagine
Right,
your
just-
best friend
If
calls
you
you
had
up
a
and goes,
coupon-
coupons, my hands are tied.
Oh my gosh.
You
You
used them all.
the world is crashing in front of my. Well, you already used your coop. There's
used
nothing
your
I
coop.
can do.
Nothing I can do here.
Not without
That's
coops.
Yeah.
Not without coops. There's nothing I can do.
And also the speech she gave associated with them made it sound like she'd been going through something.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what? Why does she
It
need
almost
everybody?
was like, hey, we talked and we have to put parameters up.
When all
Because
that-
you're constantly calling us, we're constantly having to be around.
Yeah.
So like
You
you
get
get
2
to
a
ask
year.
each of us a couple of
Yeah.
times tops.
if you
and
can
then
just
we
scan
can't
that
anymore.
QR
That's
code
right.
before you call.
Our collective therapist told us we have to set up boundaries, and we're doing boundary in
Form of
of coupon book.
code.
So,
Can I tell you this? I was giving a pass to that initially when I thought wish swap was going to be a big part of this.
Yeah.
When
Okay.
it was early on,
Yeah.
I was like, coupon book's stupid.
Yeah.
But this is about to get zany and weird wish swappy. And so I'm going to let it go because it's going to come back somehow. They're going to
Yeah.
need it to swap back or something.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
It's just weird.
Just a bad
Just
gift.
a weird, bad gift for an adult to give another adult. That's exactly right.
He didn't even. This is a big one for me. He wasn't even fazed that she inherited a farm that he's dreamed of his whole life.
Didn't even blink.
It's all he wanted.
even blink.
I think he was happy for her.
Yeah.
Like
It's
he
like,
didn't,
cool, whatever.
He didn't even care. Like in my mind, I'm like, there has to
Like,
be a scene where
for
he's
instance-
like, "Darn it to heck, shoot!"
Like if you know, like if we had a wish swap,
Yeah.
even though we don't have the same birthday, and your wish, obviously, my kids move far away, and
That's not what I would wish for, but
and
we'll
then
roll
I
with it.
get a call as soon as we wish, and I'm like, Brian, both of my boys have moved far away. You're not going to be like, oh, that's nice for you. You're immediately going to be like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, where'd
you got
they
my-
move?
you
Is
got
there
my-
room
you
for
got
two
my-
more?
You got my wish. You got my wish. I know you got my wish.
I
Son
can't
of a
believe
bee, you
this,
got my
yeah.
wish. Yes,
Ugh.
exactly.
Not they needed that. Like
They
that would have
needed
made
it.
it more real.
Yeah.
Like he must have been.
He's just like,
fuming.
oh, well, good for you,
Yeah.
whatever.
And then
he
he's like
doesn't-
happy to go work.
Yeah, it was crazy.
With no equity until
Yeah.
later. And just when he came in with the I don't know if I remember if he had flowers. When he interrupted her work meeting, I
Yeah,
was so
buddy.
embarrassed for her. Like that is not the time.
No.
Like just let her finish the meeting in front of all the coworkers.
No.
She's trying to do a whole work. Like
She is like
not
an
the time.
actual
Yeah, work
business
at a
woman.
job.
That's right.
In her
With a-
business attire, in front of colleagues and coworkers,
come
maybe people from the outside. Just not even. Just guys, hang on a minute here. I know you guys got lunch in a few, but I'm just gonna do a whole thing. So embarrassing.
Yeah, no way, no how.
So embarrassing.
Brian's
That
still
was it.
getting over his secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah, no, that's tough. I got a couple. One, he gets a call at the dinner from Dance Your Heart Out. It's when they
Yeah.
called, it said
Unknown.
unknown.
That's right.
The next
Oh, yeah.
day, he has Dance Your Heart Out's number saved
Yeah, he
to
does.
his
Of course he
phone.
does.
He likes
So
to
he's
save
like,
us-
I never want to talk to them again, but
Just in case.
if they do call back, I do want to know that it's them. And I don't know, like maybe there are people like that. I'm not your man for that. Dan, you're lucky you're saved in my phone.
That's right.
Like
I've got like 6 cell numbers memorized. I've got yours memorized.
how about that? Now
Believe
there,
it or not.
there are
So-
there are a lot of numbers that I just don't save, and I'm like I should get around to that. One that
our
I will-
lawn guy.
One
I
that
always forget to save his number.
One number that I will definitely not save is a number that was unknown.
Yeah.
And then I suspected to be a spam call.
Yes.
I'm not saving
Yeah.
that number.
I'm declining that
Best
call
case, I'm
immediately.
probably blocking it.
Have you ever answered an unknown caller number? Ever?
No.
Never.
No,
No.
that guy answers it
On
in the middle of his
purpose?
birthday
Yeah,
dinner.
it's crazy.
Like it's the most important call
That's
of his
crazy.
life.
You're crazy, guy.
Crazy.
I got a chuckle out of at the end of the movie where she's like, "I'm gonna start my own business where I can implement my own ideas."
It's one of the worst
And
lines in
just
the
like,
history of
okay,
everything.
like so. Expound on like what are your own ideas? It doesn't matter. This movie, in this movie, it doesn't matter. She doesn't have any ideas.
But that's implied.
Imagine going into like a pitch meeting.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Hi, hi Sharks. I'm here today because I want to
That's
start
right.
a business where I can implement my own ideas, and I'll leave it at that."
I don't remember the guy's
I love-
name because I'd love to give him a shout out, but there's a guy with a beard who does the TikToks where he does Hallmark movies in like a minute or whatever. He's got pretty famous a couple years ago. This sounds like a line he would say in a video making fun of these movies.
Yeah.
I want to start
Implement
my
my own-
own business to implement my own ideas.
Yeah.
That's like the commercials for patenting your inventions that are like, I like thinking about inventions, then what next?
Then what next?
You invent, that's the whole thing. It's a whole ball game. Invent Help USA or whatever your name's called.
Dan.
Him, first of all, I need to say this. Far be it from me to defend farmers. I'm not a farmer, have never been, but I guess
I
someone
was under the
needs,
impression that we are farmers.
someone needs to say this. Farming is not a part-time job. If she was
Looks like it
inherited a
is.
farm, someone had. It's an everyday, no days off job. And it is a job that's only done by a handful percentage of Americans. Like not a big, like, when our country was founded, 97% of Americans were farmers. Now, very few farmers. But it is a job you literally don't get days off. This is a farm that someone was running before she gets there. And then when she gets there, they basically describe this as needing 30 minutes a day, an hour a day.
Set it, forget
and
it.
Occasionally show up to do a little bit of farming here and now, just occasionally, just so you can get that farming itch scratched.
Yeah.
Not how that works. Not how that works at all. And then also, this guy who is a farmer, who's working on someone else's land, who goes over to this farm, he's got time for everything, man. He's got time for everything. He's out dancing. He's at the comedy clubs. He's doing all of this other stuff. And it's just crazy that they think that's farming, and it just isn't farming. So shout out to all the farmers out there that listen. I got your back. Don't worry.
If you're listening on a tractor right now, right on in.
Yeah, him being shocked that she doesn't know how to farm was the most far-fetched part of this movie, more so than the wish swap. So like, she's like, hey, I'll help you learn how to dance. Okay. If you help me learn how to farm. And she's not surprised he doesn't know how to dance. She's like, okay, you don't know how to dance. We'll take care of it. No problem. Like, I got this, which great. She's like, but you got to help me you got to help me farm. And he's like, you don't know how to milk a cow? You don't know how to get eggs from a chicken
Did you
coop?
survive?
I mean, who taught you grammar? Like, what are guy, tough in the tough tones. Most people don't know how to do those things. Like, it is not strange at all that someone doesn't know how to farm. That's not weird. You're getting the better end of this 50-50 split. Like, you can maybe buy this farm. Like, you've wanted your own farm your whole life. Guy, buddy.
Implement your own farming methods?
Yeah. Sheesh. Like the fifth night they're there, he's like, I got to go do my nightly rounds. What the F have you been doing the other 4 nights? Like, that's an every night thing. Guy, come on. I also am a little fuzzy on the fact that they have one funny joke on a television program and are called immediately to do a tight 10 at a comedy club. What?
That's how that works.
That's how that works. People see that off the cuff, you say one thing funny, and the Chuckle Hut calls, and they're like, our big guys coming into town. Can you give us 10 minutes? Here's the thing about stand-up comedians. I've not one, but I've heard a bunch of podcasts. They all kill for that slot. They all go to the club every night to work on their material. So when one slot gets open for the big guy coming into town, you are the guy in line to take that slot. You don't just give it to the person who had one joke on the Dance Your Heart Out. It's not how.
It was real funny.
Yeah, so funny. I wanted to throw something at my TV when Emily Tennant's character said, I spent so much time on my presentation last night and I couldn't figure out which version of two to use.
Come on. What are we doing here?
Guys, that's not even hard. It's not even a hard one. Like, I get it if it's like, another one. T-O, T-W-O, and T-O-O. I'm pretty sure most middle schoolers get that right most of the time. That's not even there hard. Like, that's one of those is a number. One of those is a number.
Yeah.
One of them's a number.
I like.
That was brutal. Yeah.
That was tough, man. I don't know if that's different in Canada, but here,
Even I got that down, guys.
even Brand's like, I got those. 100%
If
of the
any
time.
writers out there are wondering, like, is this a good grammar joke? Just give me a call, and I'll let you know, like, if I got it down or if I think, like, yeah, that'll work.
Do you know there?
Yeah.
Okay. Which one's easier? 2 is easier because one of them is a number.
No,
Yeah,
2's easier. There. Like, I at least when I'm writing it, I'm like, okay, got it. Like, there's a split second where I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll think through it for a real. For 2, it's just instinctual.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice
it's
use of
just
instinctual.
Very good. Really good. Even instinctive.
Your
Yeah.
boy Brand's popping today.
Oh, different
2
day.
weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row. It's unbelievable.
Lighting hasn't changed, huh?
Lighting hasn't changed a bit,
You're
but you don't have that
glowing.
sweater on from last week.
I got it though. If you want it.
I'm
Wear
good.
that shirt
Thanks,
every
though.
day.
Yeah. Tuff's family may be awesome. Their TV is 50 years old and there's no way it works.
They're
That-
farmers.
That
They are
TV
farmers. They
is
fix
is the TV that
They're actually
was
not farmers. He's the only farmer in the family.
that when I was a child, that TV was old, but my dad had that TV. We watched TV on it. It was old then. There's no world where it works.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work now. It doesn't work anymore. Just any other TV that you have, do that TV instead. TVs aren't expensive. You could have done it on their budget. It's not an expensive item for a shot there. It's ridiculous. And then lastly, her birthday list sucks. I know,
Yeah.
I know that he should not have opened up that birthday list. But all it says are the two things that she's already done plus fall in love. Like, he didn't crack open any national secret. Like, how many people wish to fall in love? It happens regularly. Like, I don't like.
I mean, Uber drivers even get a button on the app where
Yeah,
they
that's
can
right.
press
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
I'm falling in love.
That's
It's that
new.
common.
That's
It's new
new
technology, and
just
new
in the
feature.
last
But
like week or so, from what I
how
understand.
disappointed? Speaking of that list, I was kind of disappointed that the third item didn't have to do with her mom. I
Yeah,
thought
or
for sure
something.
it was like have one more talk to my mom.
Sensitive
Yeah.
or not? I mean, like, why even make a list on a Word doc?
Yeah, it's a text
You
file,
keep
I
that on a
believe, so.
notes app or a Post-it note or just written on your arm
or just in your
in your
noggin
head.
there.
You're not gonna. Two of them are checked off. It's just fall in love.
By two, you mean two TOO?
I
Right?
mean, nope. It's the number one. That's where it gets you.
Oh,
Dang.
stinky
Yeah.
stinker.
Yeah, that's where that's tricky. Maybe
crazy.
she was right on that one.
Anything else, Dana?
That's it.
It's time for what the Hallmark is for. You wonder what could have been. Maybe you have to clear any questions we still have. What are we still wondering about? I'll tell you right now.
Right?
Bri?
No.
Yeah, just a big one for me. What up with this farm?
What up with farm?
Are they a dairy farm? Because they have cows.
They have cows. They have
They have
chickens.
chickens, so I mean,
Dairy,
you can
yeah,
sell
some
eggs
eggs,
and all
yeah.
that stuff. But if they're a dairy farm, like they don't even have a milking parlor, so how you can't scale this? So
Losers.
how are they? They're sitting on a stool with a bucket. Please, you're not making any money.
Oh,
How are
man.
they making money? And the farm looked great too. It was in
Farm
great
looked
shape.
Great. That
So-
aunt must have just kicked it.
I just don't. Yeah, and she had a great staff.
Yeah.
What it looks like. How are they making money? How is she paying all the employees here? This just doesn't make any sense to me, and it bugged me the whole time. Like, give us one line of dialogue on
Something.
what is going on with the finance. Like, how are you? Are you making money? Are you not? Are you just paying out of your pocket? I don't. What is up with this farm?
What up with it? What up with it?
What up with
Yeah,
it?
I mean,
What
I
up with
alluded to it
farm?
a little bit in the hot
What up
take,
with
but
farm?
the wish swap of it
That's
all.
mine too.
Yeah, it's a good
There's
one.
a lot of mysteries about it. I know I'm a bit more hung up on where the farm came from than you are, Dan, but someone died in this process.
Or the wish made it up.
So that's interesting.
that's
Like,
true.
Did the wish create a farm?
Or there was just empty land, and
there
then
was-
everyone now is implanted in their memory that it was farm
Yeah,
always.
y'all, you can't wish
That's
swap.
that's
When
a
the wish
mind
swap
trick.
happens, one person can't then can't inherit a farm, and you not expect me to be like, okay, what up with that?
Yeah.
Like, that's great. Like, if it's a true wish swap, was it his aunt that
Right.
passed, and then
They killed the
they
wrong
got the
aunt?
wires crossed? I
I
don't
don't
know.
think anybody died.
You don't
I
think
don't-
anyone
You think it
died?
was just-
Well, here's what mine is. Mine
Okay, go
is this movie operates in a world where everyone's birthday wish is granted. Has to, right?
Yeah.
Because two people wished
Yes.
at the same time and they both got their wish and it just happened to be swapped. So why aren't there more just like rainbows and unicorns just running around everywhere? I mean, these wishes are tough.
Well, she's never fallen in love. She said so. She's never gotten all her wishes granted.
A cold call. This was just this year's list,
She,
right?
she said it's on her list every year.
But there's a cold call from Dance Your Heart Out, and there's a dead ant. I don't listen. This movie
So more of
operates
a
in a world
mystery.
where wishes come true on the regular. Why aren't we hearing more about those and how big a deal this is that you get a birthday wish and they come true?
Yeah.
Because if the wishes don't come true every year, then they don't ever get to the swap. They just go, this is weird, and birthday wishes are still stupid, right? Like, if birthday wishes in this world don't come true all the time, then they never talk to each other again, and they leave, and she's like, well, that's weird that I got a farm. I didn't know I had an aunt, and that's the end of the movie. But because they know wishes come true, she immediately goes, that's this guy. We swapped. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
doing more thinking than you ever thought you'd do for this movie.
I didn't see this dimension of this movie.
And the fact that they don't bring up any wish mythology at all
Yeah.
after the birthday dinner scene is just crazy. So
Why
there's
do we
that.
waste all the time on the relationship?
I can't even. I don't
now I'm
wanna
getting
talk
upset
it.
about
I'm getting angry
that
Yes.
we didn't get all this wish
Yeah,
logistics.
Wish just.
Wish-
That's close. It's close.
Hey guys, welcome back. Let's get to the double decker of the week. Wah, 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 wah.
We're
We're not giving the life of a double decker.
You don't have a prayer. I don't know why you're trying to speak it along at this point.
Brian,
Cockroach
Yeah.
Dan,
stew,
who do we have
Sunkus.
today?
It's BrambleJamPlus.com, double decker tier or tire. Or tire. You can get a tire.
Tire
or you
discount
can get,
tires.
or higher, and you can get a shout out. You can also
Wow.
join the best community on the
Well, that's
internet.
neat.
Facebook group, Double Decker group. We have Haley Eakin. Haley Eakin.
Yeah.
This week.
Haley, I found something pretty cool about Haley doing
good.
a deed that I would say, well, much needed, well deserved for people. Statues are a great honor to have.
I know.
You would know,
believe me, I know.
You know,
I've
City of
tried.
Greenville.
But statues are expensive,
Sure.
and sometimes you
Maybe
make
that's the hurdle.
no. It was one
For
of
City of
one,
Greenville?
maybe for you.
Yeah,
I know
probably.
the
They are
statue,
expensive, though.
Statue you want,
You got to carve that thing.
you got to carve it, and also
Hard
sometimes
to make
you,
a monochromatic version of you without it looking creepy.
Yeah, no, that's I get it.
that
no one gets it
actually,
more than
yeah.
me.
Now I'm thinking of that. Maybe that's the reason. So, and also sometimes you make a statue for somebody, and it turns out maybe we shouldn't have made a statue of that person.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
There's some of those out
you're
there for sure.
committing
Yeah.
to so Haley came up with an idea and is out there implementing it. Instead of she's finding people who deserve a statue, basically,
Oh,
and
okay.
instead of going all the way of developing a statue, she's doing something she's calling statue, where she just drives around and you see somebody who deserves a statue, instead of building it, you just go a little toot toot, let them know, hey, you're doing a good job out there. You give them a statue.
Man, I thought for all the money in the world that she was going to create some rules and regulations, and it was going to be statute of limitations. And I thought that's where we were heading. And then
Write that one down.
we took an absolute left-hand turn.
I mean, statue
to a
limitations,
statue.
somebody else can handle that part. It's,
But how do people know that what they're being honked at is a good thing? Like lots of times I get like, when
I
most
know.
of the time when you honk, it's for like, hey,
I'm
get
going
out
to
of
order
the
a
way. Scram.
statute for Bran.
I would
you
love
can
that.
order it. Yeah, you
can,
can
yeah.
order a statute for Brand.
Is there a number that you can, that's capped, like a statute of limitations?
Nice.
At this point, no, Dan. There's
Wow,
no statute.
you can use as many
of
statutes as you want.
Yeah,
Unlimited
yeah.
toots?
Unlimited toots. And so, yeah. Well, you would know because it just sounds like a positive.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
a
a
positive.
toot toot.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're doing a good job.
But I understand she tried out a lot of different toots.
Yeah, you had to get through.
We got those demos?
We got those demos.
Wow, it's
Yeah.
unbelievable. All right. Adam.
What is that? Yeah, you too. That's not. See, it's
Hinga
not.
honga. Hinga honga.
Donkey.
Hinga honga. That's just too long.
Let him finish.
I can't believe, like, so what's the actual toot sound like?
It's just the one he did, right?
Yeah, it's just a little beep beep.
They
Yeah.
didn't start with the beep beep.
Yeah, they started
No,
with some
no.
really crazy
The
ones.
investors wanted to hear different
Yeah,
options,
there's
so
a
you
lot of
got
options.
You gotta give them what they.
All
She got
those are patented.
investors.
Those are all, wow.
in
Call
statute.
us.
Yeah, you've heard the idea, right?
Yes. What's
So
what was the round? What
What's
was
the,
the
evaluation?
what's the statute cost in Greenville? I know that it varies
Yeah.
market to market,
If
obviously.
I
Yeah,
want to give my old buddy
obviously, like-
Dan a statue.
well, Greenville's a pretty good city.
Yeah.
So it's up there.
a
You're
good
looking
tootin'
at
city.
125 a toot.
What about like an urban, like a rural toot? Like you got
Rural
to go
toot?
out in the middle of, like, let's say I wanted a statute for like 96 or
Yeah.
like Abbeville, South
Well,
Carolina.
the thing is with it, you want to build it up in that region, so pretty affordable.
So
And-
it's
and-
cheaper to have
yeah,
somebody
rural.
drive out and give a toot
So if
out
you
there.
could drag your friend rural,
yes.
and then get a toot out there, more affordable at this point, is what I'm seeing. Yeah.
Cool. I
This
don't
is
want to
real
go. I just
encouraging.
want to send
This
the
is really cool,
toot.
really encouraging. I love
Yeah.
that. Well, we did it, everybody. Congratulations to us. Good news. We're going to be back tomorrow with another one, so come on
phew.
back, will you? I hope you will. Until then, maybe the first to wish you a
Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.